September 2020.
Another person in my day was a Sikh chap who runs the Red Cross Opportunities charity shop in Frankton here. A tall, strong individual, strong in character. Grave in many ways. I mean, well, what sort of age? Probably 30s. He's the manager, staff under him, who are, Kiwi staff. That sort of voluntary, not quite voluntary, they're paid. The sort of, well, anyway, staff under him. And he's taken to me, and of course I took to him. A tremendous meeting of mind, of somehow person to person. He knows I value him, and he values me. We recognise each other as, can I say, people of an integrity that his religion has. The Sikh has they were reported as fearful fighters, stern, able, utterly a man's man in some sense. Not in the shabby modern way of being degenerate, if you like, in habits and occupations, but in the fine, proud way. Proud when it used to have good connotations, that word, where proud meant, and righteousness too, where righteousness meant right-minded, right-valued, sincere, faithful and true, utterly high integrity, honour. The sort of vision that perhaps you don't get so much of these days, in this century. Used to be seen as the very backbone of what was necessary to hold society on track. Fine people, not just good people, but almost courageous and earnest and steadfast in purpose. I know I'm using all the words, aren't I? But the words overall, I think, addressing a trace of the picture of the character that I mean, that utterly reliable and effective friend. Friend is too loose a word. Partner in the battle of life would be nearer it. Let me pause a sec. With the brief encounter over buying a couple of pieces of furniture and then being delivered and me helping them with the delivery, we cemented a relationship that we'd vaguely touched on before. And something he said, and I can't be sure what it was, made me realise that he recognised me as a person of integrity too, and a worthwhile person to know. In some sense, valued for our integrity, if you like, our I don't want to flatter myself here, but stalwart principles that we hold to as men. Men not with that connotation that it now has of being wrong and suspect in society, but in the right and proud way of what used to be a patriotism that held society together, protected it, and was the very backbone of it. I think what you tried to encourage in what was called the English public school, places like Eton and Harrow and Malvern and so on, that tried to produce people that of integrity in what I think of as the Victorian era, way back now. Although my dad was secular, he certainly valued that sort of person. May have been dressed in Queen and Country and voting Conservative in England. But an integrity in there. In Dad I found integrity. In Mum I found loving kindness. Put the two together and you have a much better picture of God. Than if you just concentrated on one or the other. They go hand in hand. It's a bit like love and wisdom. Both are needed. Both are desperately needed, else the other is in poverty. That's what it is. My Sikh friend is a person you can admire, and I saw it in my friend Len. Was he Chief Rating Officer of London Borough? Hang on. I think it was Newham. Yeah, I think so. Incredible integrity. Such a friend. Such a friend. Such a worthwhile friend. He's dead now, or he's gone to heaven. I do hope he can follow my good opinion of him. He was such a friend to me. And to my son. Rescued my son in a tricky situation. Rescued me in a tricky situation. Wonderful. Thank you, Father, for such people you brought across our lives. Gosh, I'm in tears. Wow, thank you, Father. I see clearly with tears in my eyes. Thank you, Father.